you know, there's a lot often said about the limitations of language with spirituality. I've said it many times in my own books. You know, oh, you can't describe this. And I've started thinking about that, and you know, in a way it's true, but in a way I think it's just true of everything. You know, the famous old Hindu story about how would you explain sweetness to someone who'd never ate a mango. You know, it's like, actually, everything is about shared experience. So if I say to you, look, there's a wow and there's oneness and love, and you've had that experience, you just go, yeah, got it. And if you haven't, you're like, kind of know what the words mean, which is why what I, in my primary aim at the Deep Awakening retreats, is to give someone that experience. I don't give it to them. They, you know, it arises within them. It's not me. I don't, you know. It's like we bring it to each other. And because once you've had that, you know from then on. You know, you'll forget, but you'll remember again. So that, and then when somebody says about it, you know what they mean. So all of language works on shared experience. That's the nature of what language is. So there is a limit, but it's a general limit. So the most important thing is we get the experience. Yeah. One of my heroes is the Gnostic Paul, and one of the things he always talks about is the idea that love replaces law. And I think it's a very profound thought, because that's how I experience my life. It's like I'm aware that, you know, if you know, we had a break now and you all left your handbags and bits and pieces here, I wouldn't think, great, I can, you know, I'm not getting paid for this. I had to pay to come. I had to pay to come to speak to you. And it cost me, I had to come on the train. It's like, you know, all me food coming up to London, all of this. I don't get paid for any of this. So while you're all out, I'll take some money out of your bags. No one will think it's me, will they? You know, it's like perfect. That's justice. You know, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to do it because it's a law. It is a law, but I'm going to do it because I wouldn't do that to you. And that's love. So I feel like, look, what we're looking for is, the law is always trying to match up to love. But when you have love itself, that's the real thing. So love transcends all of that. So the law is just love. What's happened, you know, when I started this, when I was a teenager, I had this spontaneous awakening. I wanted to know what the hell had happened to me. I tried out all these various things and spiritual techniques and psychedelics and everything that was available. And I think, you know, because at that time the East was coming in, and so I picked up the East. And so I had this idea that if I could just meditate enough, and then I'd become enlightened, and then I'd be this kind of like, one day it was just, I'd just go poof, and my ego would be gone forever, and I'd be Uber Tim, and you know, and you'd meet me and it'd be like, yes, I met Uber Tim, and just to be in his presence and all of that stuff, which goes on. None of that has happened, as you can see. I am very much still Tim, and what I love is all of the journey of life. I mean, I really do. What's happened is I've fallen in love with life. I don't like it all. I get grumpy. I have a good moan. I don't mind moaning. You know, when things are worth moaning about, have a moan. I don't care. It's fine. Why not have a moan? Sometimes it helps. You know, and some things are, you know, some things are really bad, like the world at the moment. It's going in a horrible direction. It's like, you know, I want it to go in a good direction, but sometimes it goes in a horrible direction, and you have to put up with that, and so, you know, all of that stuff. And yet behind it all, it's like watching a movie. You know, if you're going to sit down and watch a movie, when things go wrong in the middle, don't sit there going, oh, I don't like this bit. You know, oh no, it's not working out, it's not working out, it's not working out. No, you just settle down and enjoy the fucking movie, because that's the point. You know, if you went to see a film and it started really well, and then everything kind of worked out fine and ended happily ever after, you just go, as a rubbish movie. You go and see a movie because it pulls you in, and you're in the drama, you're transformed, you're thrown up and down, and then you come out afterwards, you go, wow, that was a trip. That was incredible. It really, and it feels like that's what life is. It's doing the same thing. But if you went to a movie, and if you literally identified with the hero on the screen, completely, if you couldn't tell it was a movie, You know, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, watching Doctor Who and the Daleks from behind the sofa, just like, oh my God, is that real? You know, pinching yourself and all that. If you actually thought you were Neo or Trinity or somebody, it would be absolutely terrifying. It would be just the most awful experience to go to a movie. And you'd never ever do it again. I mean, just absolutely terrible. But you don't. What you do is, you know that you're safe. You don't think about it. You don't sit there the whole way through going, I'm in a cinema, I'm in a cinema, I'm in a cinema, I'm in... You just know you are. And because you know it so profoundly, you can forget about it. And then you can enter into the illusion, because the illusion is only fun if you enter in. It's only transformative if you enter in. But you can't enter in if you think you're not safe. But when you know you're safe, you can enter in. So when you wake up and you know you're safe, you can enter into the illusion, the art, the play, all of it. Whoa, whoa, yes, whoa, all of it. All of the different tones. And not because you're, you know, because you're free to. Because you can actually take part in it. And then you don't want, you know, it's not like, to me, it's like people go, well, are you always in bliss? It's like, of course not. And what would that be? You know, I mean, you know, I think people would be like, it'd be really irritating and unreal. I just want to slap them around the face and say, you know, because it's everything. It's like, it'd be like listening to only one piece of music. It's like, what music do you like? I write some good up-tempo funk, but I also like sad love songs, and I like moving orchestral journeys, and I like 12-tone dissonance sometimes, and I like it all. And that's what we've got with life. The difference that the awakening makes is not that it all becomes one thing, and bland and fixed. It's that actually, I think, it allows the variety of personality to really express itself. Because you know that there's something safe. And because you see what's in front of you. And you see the people that are in front of you. And you can fall in love. I tell you, one of the things that made, you know, was feeling... My mum died 3 years ago. 2 years before that, my dad died. I sat with both of them through the whole process. It was shit. Broke my heart. It was really hard. You know, my dad would lie there, he had a stroke, he could move one arm like that. And he'd lie there at some points and he'd just going, help me, help me, help me. Horrible. And all of this meditation and this deep awake, and, you know, it didn't take it away. It didn't make it okay. It didn't. But it wasn't either or. Because what I felt was, you know, when I'd sit with my mum or my dad, was that there was this love as well. That the love was so big, it held all of that. It didn't make it not shit, it just made it something else as well. So there was a kind of bittersweet poignancy to it all. There was a beauty sometimes, actually. You may have had this, a magic even, would happen. Amazing things would occur. Beautiful things would occur. In the middle, so it was really awful, and it wasn't awful at the same time. It was okay, and it wasn't okay. And it wasn't a choice between the two. They both could sit completely happily together. So that and what I could see was this love, it holds everything. And that's what makes it what it is. It just holds everything. So whatever we experience, it holds it. Without taking it away. It just holds it. Does that make sense?